Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Empire once again. If you are passing by for the first time, please feel free to join us. I'm just fixing my glasses because my lash is budding on the glasses. Let me just remove them because my lash is just batting on it and I can't even see clearly. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Empire. If you are passing by for the first time, please consider subscribing to this amazing channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for coming back always. Please give this video a thumbs up even if you haven't had anything just yet. Like it. If you just subscribe, please. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, so my name is CJ. I am a beauty and lifestyle content creator, and I've decided to come up with a different segment where we talk about things that affect us in our lives on a daily, because I feel like our mental space is very important and it's good to just talk things out. So today in this video, I am going to talk. That's why I wanted to wear these glasses, because it makes me look like a student. It makes me look so young. These are like a teenage topic. So today I'm going to talk about how my childhood or my upbringing has affected my parenthood. If you haven't watched my last video, I talked about how my upbringing has affected my marriage and you guys were engaging and everything. So my lights are flickering just in case you see. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're flickering. So yeah. So today I want to talk about how my upbringing has affected my parenthood journey. So I am a mother of, I'm turning 30 this year, and I'm a mother of two, an 8-year-old and a 1-year-old baby boy. My 8-year-old is a girl, and yeah, the other one is a boy. So I'm blessed to have them. They're amazing. So yeah, and I'm married. Okay. Yeah, I'm married. So I felt like I wanted to bring out that topic because it is something that has been bothering me so much, especially since I had my second baby. Because when you have another baby, when you have a small baby, or when women have newborns, emotions just tend to spiral and things just get crazy. And if you don't talk to people, or if you don't have a strong supporting system, I'm so grateful to my husband and my sisters and my daughter also. She's so helpful. You tend to just you can just freak out and just go into a different whole world. So when I was growing up, as I've mentioned before, I am a sixth born in my family. I grew up not being told how to do things. Like, it was a matter of see and learn. Like, there was nobody to tell me this is done like this and this is done like that. Yes, I grew up with a mom. I had my sisters. I had my brothers. My mom was an absent mom. She was present physically, but she was absent emotionally and physically at the same time. Like, she would wake up at 5 a.m. and go to work. We used to live in Thika by then. We have lived in so many places, not so many places. I've lived in Thika and Nairobi mostly. So most of my life until I was like a teenager or something. So she used to wake up at 5 and come all the way to Nairobi for work every day at 5 a.m. and she will come back late, as late as 9 p.m. in the night. And most of the time, by that time, maybe I'm asleep because I will have to go to school very early in the morning, because my school is a bit far, so I had to leave home maybe around 6:30, or that is if I'm using bus fare. I mean, no, transport, not school transport. Like, if I have to board a matatu, I will have to leave the house at around 6:30. But if I am going on foot, then I have to leave the house at around 6 or 5:30. So yeah, so there was basically no one to talk to or tell your emotions to, or the things that you would feel. Even when I started my periods, I didn't even know how I knew those were periods, because I started even before we were taught about periods in school. My periods came a bit early. That's another story. I can always do that if you're interested to know. So I learned by watching, alright? So I learned by watching movies and reading novels. I started reading novels when I was quite very young. Like, I think it's the reason why right now I'm not even interested in reading books. I don't know. I read a lot of books when I was younger, and they were not like educational books or anything. It's just novels. I've read a lot of Sidney Sheldon apparently, and I didn't even know that it was Sidney. I never even used to check the writer, and then I never used to read in the sense that I want to remember. I just used to read for the sake of reading, just because I was bored, and it was just a way of just dissolving myself into life, actually, just hiding inside my emotions, if that even makes sense. So how I grew up is that, as I've said, I grew up by seeing things. I learned by seeing things. So I did not grow up talking, so I used to write. I had a diary, I used to write. I think that helped me, because otherwise I would have been in so much depression as a young girl. So I used to write down a lot of stuff, and I write down a lot of my emotions. So my mom was the kind of person who would really, I don't know, shout. She had never talked calmly. Not that she was angry. That's just how she used to talk. All right. My mom has never beaten me. I've never been beaten ever since. Until her passing, she had never laid a hand on me, unless maybe when I was a baby and I can't remember. But ever since I discovered myself, my mom never laid a hand on me. The person who did the disciplining was my elder sister, our second born. Yeah, that woman, she beat me like she beat us properly. She put us in line. Like, I'm so grateful for her. If it wasn't for her, I don't even know the kind of person that I would have been right now. So I learned by my big sister would condemn. She was also always shouting and angry at things. I don't know why. I think it's because of now how she uh, got it from my mom or something. But she was like our mom. She was like our disciplined person. So I've lived with all my sisters. I've lived with my sisters. Like, they are the ones who raised me. Like, I get a lot of things. Most of the things that I've learned in my life, sorry, are from my sisters. Okay. So how to cook, I learned by watching. How to do dishes, nobody taught me and told me this how it's done. I remember when my mom wanted to teach me how to cook chapatis. I just came from school. I came from school, and she she was cooking chapatis, and then she just stopped and she was like, cook, and she left. So sorry, I've been choked by my own saliva. And she left, so she expects when she comes back, like, you're supposed to have cooked. All right, I don't know why these lights are flickering, they're really stressing me out. So you're supposed to have cooked, okay? And I just had to figure it out. I had to cook. All right, I was the one who, like, now my younger brothers and sister, now I was the eldest. The other people had left. I was left with them at home. I had to figure out how to do laundry for them. I had to figure out how to cook for them. Yes, at some point we used to have house elves, but they used to live here and there, so sometimes we'd find ourselves alone. And my mom just didn't seem to, I don't know, I don't understand why. I didn't understand her. So I've never understood her up to this point. So growing up like that by watching is really affecting how it has really affected how I am parenting my kids, especially my 8-year-old. Number one, I do not expect her to make mistakes. And it's not her fault. She's a kid. She's supposed to make mistakes, and she's supposed to do wrong things. My daughter, if you see her right now, she's way more mature than people her age. And I think I also got mature at around, by the time I was in grade 3. I was so mature, because at grade 3 I would do so much. I wouldn't play children's games and all that, but I let her play. But at the same time, it's like it's not like I'm restricting her. I just find myself, I don't know if it's in a subconscious way, like if she plays too much, I just feel like, hey, you're not supposed to play too much, and it's not the right thing. She's supposed to be a child. So I'm working on just trying to just let her be. As much as I am teaching her to be responsible and to know herself, to be aware of herself and her environment at that age. She's almost turning 9 this year, so I just want her to be aware of her environment. I also want her to be a kid. I was not given that chance to be a kid when I was growing up, so I basically became an adult at a very young age. So that has really affected me in a very big way. Another thing that I find difficult when I'm raising my baby is that I tend to I expect her to know everything. Like, I find it so irritating when she asks me questions. Or should I say, I used to find it irritating when she asks me questions, because growing up there was no one I could ask things, so I used to figure it out. So in my head, I'm like, why can't you just figure it out? Why are you asking me? But I've learned to understand that they are totally different. This is a totally different generation, and I'm supposed to be a totally different parent. So by the time she asks me something, I get like that thing. Why is she asking me? And then I'm like, hey, Ebu, calm down. You need to learn that she's inquisitive, she's still young, she needs to understand this and that, because I realize the moment I keep getting angry, I used to get angry, by the way, when she asks a lot of questions. I'm like, why are you asking so many questions? Can't you just figure it out yourself? And she watches my videos, she even downloads them and watches them. She'll watch this one and she'll ask me questions still. So I used to get angry, but now I come back to myself and I'm like, it's not right. So now I am trying so hard uh, to just let her ask whatever she wants to ask, and just let her be inquisitive, and just be a child, be curious about things, because it is important for you to create that space. Because the moment you don't create that space as a parent for your kids, then a lot of things might end up happening to them, and they might not ask what's happening because you do not give them the space to ask. So I am trying my level best. It is not an easy thing at all to try and change things that you have grown up knowing. It is the hardest thing you can ever think of, but I'm trying my level best to just change and just be a good parent and just understand and listen to questions. All right. The other thing that my childhood has really affected how I raise my kids is in the sense that I'm not a children person. Let me just say, I'm not a person who likes an environment where there are so many kids and the kids are all over the place, like they're just jumpy. Where I'm not that kind of person. Like, growing up, I grew up around so many of us, and I think I got bored with the fact that we were so many. And we used to live in Thika. So in Thika, the largest population of people that are there are the Kikuyus. And the Kikuyus, by then, they don't really have a lot of children. So my classmates, most of them were like, the more they were in their family were like 4, alright? Most of them were like one child, or 2 children. So yeah, so you find them getting a lot of things, privileges, Hey, us, we are like, I don't know, 10, and you are like the 6th born. So I used to say I'm the 6th born. People are like, mko wengi aje? And you're like this. So you'll find that you don't get to get a lot of things that are needed, alright? So growing up in a place where we were so many, so I used to wish that I was the only child. I hope my siblings don't hear this. So growing up where there were so many kids, I just grew up not liking the environment where there are just so many kids around me. I can't tolerate children. I love my kids so much, alright? But now the aspect of I just want kids to just to be in a specific place at a specific time. I think my daughter grew up being contained. She's just contained. Even when she was a toddler, when you go to somebody's house, where you put her to sit, she'll just sit there. She'll not touch anything. She'll sit there, get bored, and tell you to go home. So even now she's just contained. I felt like that suppresses how she wants to express herself, or how she would have wanted to express herself. And I am working on it, but I'm not saying that she should express herself in a way that is annoying, like she should just be all over the place and everything. It's not interesting at all. So that has affected it. It had affected how I raised her. But then Zaya came. Zaya is my second born. Where this one has shown me character development. My sisters laugh at me a lot because where Zaya is the youngest version of myself, like the small baby version of me. He is everywhere. He is just another one. But so I'm learning how to appreciate. I get angry. I used to get angry. Like, why are you just all over the place? Can't you just sit in there? But now with Zaya, I've really learned that kids should be kids. You know, just let your kids be kids. Let them explore. Let them just be whatever they want to be. So I'm trying my best. So those are like the major things that have affected me. But it has also made me to be curious about my children, especially my daughter. So anytime I see she's gloomy, I will ask her what's wrong and insist, and she'll keep on telling me nothing is wrong, but I will insist, even if I don't get anything from her, because I want to know if I'm doing wrong, if I've wronged her, if something is just wrong. Like, I want to make her my best friend, because I never had that chance with my mother, and I don't want her growing up and saying, my mom was not a good parent, I wasn't close. I want her to tell me everything, especially now that she's a teenager. There's so many things. She's a preteen now, and getting to that teenage space, there's just so many things I want her to talk to me about, alright? So yeah, those are the major things. I don't know about you. What are those things that you are fighting that your childhood brought to how you raise your kids, you know? As much as my childhood was a matter of look and see, especially that period part, like, I just knew I'm having periods. I don't know how I knew. I just knew I'm supposed to, just find a way to prevent the periods from staining my clothes. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. I just want us to have a conversation so that I learn from you also. But I'm trying so hard to. Every day is a learning day for me. Every day, every moment, every second with my kids. I analyze myself before I do anything or answer any questions that they may ask. Alright? Okay, these lights. I hope it's not affecting you guys. I analyze everything. So, what about you guys? Tell me in the comment section down below. What are some of the things that you grew up doing, or you grew up that affect how you raise your kids? Another thing that affects my kids, I want them to grow in a certain way. Like, I might live in a low graded community, but I don't want my kids to live like that, because I don't believe like I'm going to be here for a very long time. So I try and put the high end mentality in their heads. The dad and I, we try and bring the financial aspect in their lives so that they can know their finances earlier on in life, so that if anything happens, they know how to pick up. I just don't want to leave them to live the way I live. Like, I just woke up one morning, my mom is dead, and I don't know what to do. It's not that funny. It's serious. It's pathetic. All right. So it's important for you to let your kids know the values earlier on before things happen. So comment down below, let me know if you're enjoying these series. They are very interesting. Yes, comment down below, let me know if you're enjoying this kind of content. And yeah, I think that is what I wanted to share. It's very interesting, right? So every day I keep on learning and knowing what I should do, and I keep on teaching myself new things also, and I keep on trying to change my past and just be a good parent and a good mom, but not over caring to an extent that the child or the children are just spoiled. That one I will not allow. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for sticking up to this point. Thank you for subscribing, and yeah, thank you for loving me. Bye.